Chazak Baruch Boker Tov. Continuing now with the Halachot of Lashon Hara. We are in the final restrictions that apply to the leniency of Ape Tlata, and then God willing tomorrow we'll explain why we shouldn't rely on this Heter. But he continues and says, Ape Tlata only applies when there are three listeners. If two people speak Lashon Hara in front of two others, that does not constitute the leniency of Ape Tlata. So again, the whole leniency here is your friends have friends. If something was said in front of three people, the assumption is that everyone knows. That's the leniency the Gemara outlines. We spoke about it a few days ago. But this only applies if there were three listeners. If a group was four people, there were two speakers and two listeners, that does not apply. The Chaim says is because the speakers of Lashon Hara often regret their actions and words and resolve not to spread their evil tidings further. Therefore, they may not include they themselves not included in the count of Ape Tlata. And it continues another restriction to the leniency. One may not add even a word of negativity when repeating what he heard by Ape Tlata, or indicate his approval of the derogatory information. Since these additional comments were not said in front of three, they would not have eventually become known, and they are not covered by the Heter of Ape Tlata. In addition, by enhancing the negative statements, one indicates that he has accepted information that he heard as fact, which is also asur, even in scenarios of Ape Tlata. So the Chafetz explains that if someone is somehow achieved all of these restrictions, he wants to repeat it, he has to be super careful that he doesn't add one word that he didn't hear from the listener. If he adds one thing, or if he comes off as believing of the statements, that's a prohibition of Lashon Hara, because that extra word that you said that was negative, or that extra derogatory comment wasn't going to be revealed. The whole leniency is this was going to be revealed anyway. Next, this Heter of Ape Tlata only allows for repetition of the information, but does not permit believing it. We'll talk about this later on. We spoke about it earlier. There's an independent isur of Kabbalat Lashon Hara, of accepting and believing Lashon Hara to be true. This whole leniency of Ape Tlata only allows the repetition of it. But the belief that it's true, that still doesn't apply. And anyone who believes it's true is over the isur of Lashon Hara. Therefore, if one wishes to relate what he heard by Ape Tlata, but he knows that the nature of the listener will be to accept it as truth, and perhaps even to add his own words of negativity, it would be prohibited to convey the information to him. And last restriction, if there is a well-known negative information regarding a person's past behavior or the actions of his parents and ancestors, but as of now the subject has improved his ways, it is asur to repeat, and it is not included in the Heter of Ape Tlata at all. Chaim says it's very simple, no ifs, ands, or but. If the person is about teshuvah, and we did silly things in the past, if now he's a different person, even though it was well known, and he publicized it, and he posted videos of himself doing the stupid things, doesn't mean you can repeat it because he's a new person and he did teshuvah. We'll talk about letoilet later on, but have a wonderful day. Chazak u'baruch.